This is Pitch Deck Asia. We are in the Asia Tech podcast studio. My name is Graham Brown, joined by Will Lee. Will, welcome.
Okay, hey, yeah, very nice to meet you, and thank you for having me, today. And then, I'm very glad that I am able to meet you, and also possibly I can share my personal and also entrepreneur journey with the people who are listening to this podcast. Yeah.
Excellent. Well, we're looking forward to that. And
Yeah.
nice shirt, by the way. If you're listening to the podcast, he's wearing an England shirt, I believe, right? 3 lions.
Yeah, my friend actually who live in England, he gave this to for my present. Yeah.
Oh, good choice. Are you from Singapore originally?
No. I live in right now. I'm Korean.
Yeah.
I'm a Korean, but I used to live in in the U.S. for the past like 12 years.
Yeah.
And I started my first business in San Francisco.
Yeah.
And very local. It's still running in the U.S. and Canada and Singapore as well. And
So you went to Stanford, didn't you?
Oh yeah,
well?
I study AI, artificial intelligence at Stanford. Yeah.
I studied AI as well in 1995.
Oh, 1995.
We've moved on a little bit since then, haven't we?
Wow.
Times have changed.
But you look much younger. Yeah.
God. Flattery won't get you anywhere on this show. So you tell me a little bit about your story. You came from Korea. Did you go to US to study?
Yeah, to study. Yeah.
Right. So you left Korea, went to Stanford there, or
No,
what's the plan?
I first studied in UK first.
Oh, okay.
So I studied UK and also in New York, and I went to California to pursue my the graduate school degree. So
right.
yeah.
So you went to graduate school in California, and at what point did you decide you're going to become an entrepreneur?
Because if you are in like Silicon Valley, the people always talking about like the tech and also startup. So pretty much I was one of them. So I always like thought about like what kind of like problem I wanted to solve. So spend some time, and then I was able to join a small startup in Silicon Valley. While I was studying there. So I was able to see how they operate their business and also how they solve the problem. So pretty much like when I studied there, maybe like pretty much like couple of quarters after, I somehow kind of wanted to start my own business. So I spent some time to meet other entrepreneurs and also like investors and also like some of the advisors who work in the like some of the like tech industry. Yeah.
So given the choice at that time between going back to Korea and working for Samsung or one of the big chaebols, the big conglomerates, or doubling down and doing the startup, was your heart in the startup?
I mean, like as you know, I kind of like wanted to find my own answer for a particular questions. The question was, is it possible, for us to, work and live based out of their passion, meaning then like whether we can do what we love, and whether we can make a living based out of passion, whether our society can provide that option for us. That was the question that I had when I was really young. So I didn't have answer. So I decided to somehow explore. So that is why I decided to study in UK and also in New York and California as well. And then when I was in Silicon Valley, I was able to have that answers. I was able to have that answers.
You discovered the answer.
Oh yeah.
So I want to ask you about that in a minute. Before we get there, it's important to know the context. Obviously, coming from Korea, I think the Koreans are some of the longest hour working people in the world, aren't they? Their sort of dedication to working 60, 70-hour work weeks is quite common, isn't it? I mean, that there is a generation. Obviously, the younger generation are changing. There's a lot of people who sacrifice a lot for the big companies.
Yeah, but I think like based on my experience, actually Americans work actually more.
Right. Oh, there you go.
It's because in the U.S., especially in San Francisco, people have day job. And because everything is so expensive, like accommodation, housing, the rent fee, and then the living cost, everything is so expensive. So people need to have another job, second job. So that is why people need to do some like
Right.
Uber or maybe some other, they need to use TaskRabbit and other stuff to generate extra income. So it's quite impossible for people to afford their afford to live in the San Francisco just if they have only one job.
Yeah.
So based on my experience, for sure, current people, they work hard and also a longer hour. So they usually work from like 8 to 7 or sometimes 8 or 9 p.m. But that is just for one company, right?
Right. They turn off once they're done.
Yeah. But I mean, for American, they just work
24/7.
Yeah, 24/7. Yeah.
So that question about can you make money or can you have a career out of your passion? Why do you want to answer that question, and why is it important?
It's because I wanted to know what can actually make myself happy,
Right.
or maybe happier, right? And then I saw that like when we look at our, existing educational system, right? Is this funny thing is a lot of people are saying that like we don't have enough jobs, but maybe it is because we used to fit into a frame that other people create. The basically like job means we learn something for someone else,
Right.
not for myself, not for yourself. We're learning and try to do something for other people, right? So that kind of like make me to think that like whether this is the right way, or even though I spent like more than 10 years to learn, and then like why I need to learn all these things. And my answer was because someone need to hire me.
Yeah.
Someone need to use me. That is the answer that I had at that time. So is whether that is actually the right way for us to live. And then from my side, probably not. So then what should be the right form or format of the society should be, right? So that was the problem. And then and then the answer was maybe I might spend some time to build the right infrastructure based on technology, so that maybe I can try to somehow find a way to somehow contribute.
Right.
Doesn't need to be perfect answer, but somehow I wanted to contribute. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very interesting. These are big questions. For example, what is happiness? Or career. For example, is this the right career? Should I follow my passion and so on? Are you attempting to answer these? Is this the technological solution you're talking about with Bluewhale Foundation?
Oh yeah, exactly.
Let's
yeah.
put that on the table. Tell me what it is first.
Yeah. So basically, Bluewhale Foundation is established in order to provide employment benefit for freelancers and contractors, as well as marketing support. So basically, we are building 3 different products. One is a marketplace for freelancers and also a small medium business owner who want to promote their business. And second one is the product name is Splash. That is a combination of payments and also payroll solutions. So that let's say people the SaaS is one of the most successful industry, right? And then what we do is we provide SaaS solutions, and people need to pay money. But what we do is once we receive a subscription fee, we our system are able to return those the income the profit to SMB or freelancer as a form of the pension and also PTO, paid time off. So basically, because the company itself is basically like generate revenue and then the return through our token economy. So we wouldn't just give them cash or fiat. What we do is we provide our coins called BWX.
But why? Why don't you just give them cash? Let them decide what to do with it.
Is the main reason is because what we need to do is we somehow wanted to combine value creations and also distributions and also kind of like advertising all together. Because when we look at our internet is basically information sharing. But if we can use a blockchain technology, we can combine these 3 things all together.
Right.
So that is why when basically like we can actually put some like currency and money, and we can also program inside. So what we can do is we used to think in like there's always people who need to create, and there's always some people who only need to deliver, and always there's some people always they need to do some like sell, right? But what we want to do is we wanted to somehow create a system, an ecosystem that like put these three things all together. So basically, what that means is anyone can be a business owner as a like creator, and they can also they can also sell this one through like our ecosystem. But basically, we are able to track all the information together. So somehow they can be a creator, and they can also be a distributor.
Right.
They can also be like supply and demand all together. Yeah.
Right. I want to put some examples out there so people can understand what it is. Let's say, choose any example. I run a yoga studio. Will this work for me?
Yeah, that works.
Can you explain? So I have a yoga studio. I have customers. I'm not really focused a lot on advertising or marketing because I'm just focused on doing the lessons, as is typical, right?
Yeah,
it's very popular. What does this do for me?
Okay, so basically you can create a listing on our marketplace, right? Then your listing can be shared. But the thing is, if you or maybe your friends can somehow share your listing through their social media network, right? Then basically they can get also compensated.
Right. Is that like an affiliate-based model?
Yeah, affiliate.
Right.
But the thing is, everything is based on contribution. But instead of we give actual fiat, we can provide our coin. So main reason is it allows for us to somehow remove the boundaries between other countries. Because when we do business, we need to open a bank account in the US and Singapore and other countries. But so what I would like to say is, let's say in tourism industry, right? Let's say you live here. Maybe your customer might live in maybe China or other countries. Your yoga studio, maybe it can be popular for local people, but also other people visiting your city can also try your experience, right? So we somehow wanted to expand the boundary, right? So basically, your listing can be shared by people, and the people can get compensated. And also at the same time, you also need to pay some commission fee to credit card, right? But what we do is we also provide a payment. So basically, instead of we work with a credit card company, people can charge, money in charge through our payment. So you receive, but basically, like when you receive, you will be able to receive fiat to your bank account. But what we do is because you can be also a contributor of our ecosystem, we can also return certain portion, like similar to the bank's interest. So maybe like it can be like based on our simulations, we can maybe give them like 6 to 8% of interest if they are able to contribute to our ecosystem, through the cash flow mechanism, right? Then we can somehow give them a return. So basically, they can receive, and then they can also give this contributed coins as a point to their customer as well, so that they can generate a network effect through our marketing software. But everything can be done by a token economy, right? And also, let's say if you hire one more instructor, the basic what we do is, hey, you know what? When you use the payroll solutions, so usually people need to pay like $40 to maybe like $100 per month, and every time when you add a new employee, you need to pay like extra like $10. So what we do is they pay money, right? And when they pay money, what we do is we use this money to purchase our coins. Then our coin price will be increased, and then we give these coins to them,
right?
So they can use it as a implement benefit. Because our case is we try to fully maximize our our growth, and basically instead of we actually take all the profit, what we do is we purchase coins and then return these coins to people who contribute to our ecosystem.
Right. Okay. Okay. I get what you're trying to say. Maybe the listeners might need some more examples. We talked about the yoga studio, for example. Who would this really benefit? You mentioned, for example, cross-border. Is that particularly the the profile of the clients you're targeting for this foundation, cross-border businesses?
For both like supply and demand. So anyone can start their own business by sharing their experiences. So one example is when I operated a business called For Local, some actually visit San Francisco, and at that time that person used Airbnb. What that person did was she set up baking class for local people, even though she was a traveler. So basically, like if we can build the decentralized network, people can easily share their skills and knowledge, and people can find based on their location, right? So basically, we can provide a marketing help for these people, but at the same time, if they are able to contribute to our ecosystem, they're able to receive additional, additional somehow income through our tokens, right? So it can actually support them as in a form of pension and or PTO. It's not like pension and also actually like a pension scheme. But basically, if they cash out maybe 1 or 2 years later, we can give them extra premium. Yeah.
Right. Okay. So, all right. I'm your grandma sitting here. Explain to me what this is.
So
without using the words decentralized, token, anything.
So we provide software.
I don't know what software. So I've got a business. I've got a tour business which sells to Chinese customers, Chinese tourists.
Yeah. So without hiring marketer and a tech persons, you should be able to operate your business. Yeah. Without hiring these people.
Right.
Yeah. So like we'll do marketing for them. We'll provide way to manage your employees or freelancer contractors. And then we can also like automate it, paying out to your employees and maybe instructors. And we can be automated. You can simply connect this with your bank account, and it will automatically generate like financial statement, everything. And then every time when you use our service, you should be able to receive extra coins and tokens that you can cash out. Yeah.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Good effort.
Yeah.
That was good. Okay, it's a bit clearer. Where are you now in your growth? How old is the business?
So basically, we have a marketplace that is already available in U.S. and Singapore. We will launch SaaS solution called Splash payment and also payroll solution with the financial generating financial statement aspect. We will launch this one this year, October.
Right.
Yeah.
So you're launching here in Singapore in October?
So in Korea first, and we are going to localize for Singapore, and then we'll probably launch the Singaporean version maybe November, maybe like for sure Q4 this year. Yeah.
Right. And when did you start the business?
So the full local case was I started 7 years ago.
Right.
And Bluewhale we started this year.
Right.
We started this year. Yeah.
Has that come out of the previous business?
So it's separate business.
Right.
I'm doing like the founder of For Local and also co-founder Bluewhale Foundation.
Right.
So right now one of my team member actually running like For Local as a CEO. So I'm the like major majority of the major shareholder of the For Local, but I decided to focus on Bluewhale because when I talk with many users and supply side users of For Local, they always say, "Hey, you are saying that we need to work based out of passion," but the problem is, society is not able to provide a secure a system like pension or maybe like PTO. Even though they are sick, they need to work. And even though they work, they are not able to, have some, the return later. Even though they contribute to the society, economic manner, right? So that is why maybe, I wanted to solve the problem, but I wasn't able to find the right answer. But when I actually meet a blockchain technology, it's possible to solve the problem from a blockchain and also token economy.
Right.
That is why I started like this year. Yeah.
Okay, so you started this year. Are you
Bluewhale
Foundation. Tell me about the funding. Are you self-funded? Do you have early stage investors?
So for that one, we raised a $30 million SGD through ICO. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what are you going to use that money for?
So right now, 20% we reserve for initial kind of like implement benefit, 20%, and also we use Oh no, it's for the funding, right? For the funding, basically what we do is we have around 55 team members in Korea, and we have 8 team members in Singapore. So basically, we spend most part for hiring like top talent engineers and building the product, and also we do some like marketing as well. But basically, our plan is to successfully deploy our product in Korea, Singapore, and Japan. And possibly in the U.S. later, once we can have clear maybe guideline or maybe like regulation in the U.S. And we also want to do it again in the U.S. later.
So just to be clear, even though you're based in the U.S., your markets are here in Asia.
No, it's Pro-Local is based in U.S.
Right. Okay, but your
Bluewhale
Bluewhale
Foundation is headquarters in Singapore.
in Singapore.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. And in terms of your customer acquisition, so your client acquisition, how does that work? Is this why you're hiring the teams here in Singapore and Korea to go out and get SMBs?
Yeah.
And how will they do that?
So basically, our sales team they are taking 2 different approaches. The one is directly reaching out to small medium businesses, and second approach is collaboration with startup and also platform businesses. So we already made partnership with 4 different tech startup and platforms. So one is what they do is they provide platform for hair service providers and like nails, right? So they already have platform. So what we do is we provide payment SDK and payroll system because they also need to pay out to their service providers, right? But only difference is if they use our system, their service provider will be able to receive coins based on their contributions. So we already work with these people. We are integrating our system with their system, and then also there's some other every single platform business they have their own point. So what we do is we can somehow we provide a system that allow them to exchange their point and our point. And if they exchange, they can also convert our point to our coins. So eventually they can cash it out. So basically what we do is we provide the protocol for all different kinds of sharing economy platform and e-commerce platform can exchange their point to other platforms' point, and then eventually they can we can help them to tokenize as well. Yeah.
Right. So we have a number of those platforms come into this show on Pitch Deck, based here in Singapore. We have, without naming them, the ones that do last mile delivery. We have those that are platforms for doctors, medical professionals, and also for lawyers, accountants as well, corporate secretarial, professional services. They have their network of SMBs or individual professionals or small companies. What would be the pitch to them with Bluewhale Foundation? A very short pitch. Why would they consider, for example, partnering with somebody like you? Because they watch this show as well. So here's an opportunity to speak to them directly.
So basically, your point can be used in all other platforms under our ecosystem. And also somehow you guys can also monetize your points so that you guys can also do more user acquisition in an effective way by combining all different like vertical businesses. Because when you look at sharing economy and also e-commerce and also the O2O businesses, right? It's basically most of them focus on like very niche market, right? And then that is maybe it is at the beginning, it might be effective to grow, but after they grow, many of them they are struggling to monetize and also try to figure out more better maybe business model, right? But I think the right way is, what if we can somehow combine all these players together in a transparent manner by using blockchain technology, so that based on their contributions, they can get like compensated? Because before, when I try to work with our other companies, with other partners, sometimes it's quite difficult to actually trust whether they actually share the right information, right? But if we can use blockchain, everything can be transparent. So it allows for us to, aggregate all different players under the same ecosystem, and then the system can work for all and also owned by all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. And are you raising at the moment?
So we already completed.
Right.
Yeah.
As a founder, you're always raising.
Always. Yeah,
so what's the next target?
So we think that we should be able to deliver our product, and we'll be able to see some initial progress, maybe in like Q1 next year, Q1, and then once we can prove the concept, then we plan to raise additional funds in order to stabilize our business, not just in Korea and Singapore, maybe some other countries in Southeast Asia, and also like Japan and also the China as well. Yeah.
Do you think you go back to the token market to raise, or would you ever consider going to a VC?
So I think then like we are open to both, both.
Right.
And then the most important thing is whether we can work with people who can trust our business. So as long as people can see our vision and also they can see that why this system and also this ecosystem is absolutely necessary for people, then we are open. Yeah.
Right. And how about your team? Are you expanding in recruiting here in Singapore? I know you said you had 8 people. What kind of people are you looking for? Hard skills or what?
So basically, like we are looking for some of the people who are experienced in marketing. But basically, I always love to work with entrepreneurs.
Yeah.
Entrepreneurs who wanted to do bigger business. So I already met like a couple of people yesterday. One guy's already had like small exit. Another guy is pretty interesting. He already operate like 6 businesses in Singapore. But what we do is, hey, this I can somehow provide like the new ways and the technology, like blockchain and also AI and other stuff. Maybe we can do something cool things together. So maybe one guy he's more interested like real estate business. So you know what? Everything is related, because what we do is we do online platform business. But when you look at offline, there is a space platform. It's offline platform. When you look at building itself, right? It's just same as how we operate online business. Content is business, small businesses, right? So basically, what if we can somehow combine online platform and offline platform together, so that a lot of people, they're struggling to make money because it's on offline, right? It always matters quality, right? In order to maximize quality, sometimes business owner needs to sacrifice their profit, right? But what if we can somehow fully utilize all the profit to maximize the quality of the offline business? Or it can be cafe or maybe some other offline businesses. And then what if we can find a new business model, not from that business itself, from extra, maybe like advertising, or maybe we can somehow contribute to that building so that we can increase the price of the building, so that we can actually do maybe security-based, ICO for one building. So we can tell, hey, this is a building. There will be more contents will be inside, and all the contents will be connected with other online businesses, and then they can see the value, they can invest, and then these people can be the owner of the building, right? So we can somehow create a completely new business model by using new technology, right?
They were here last week, those guys from the timeshare. Using blockchain to put timeshares on out into a distributed ownership of real estate assets. So the call goes out to those people who believe in the vision, who want to get on board, who want to try something, the entrepreneurs who maybe have access to those platforms that you're talking about. On the people side, for your team, mindset-wise, it must be pretty important for you. Your company culture, the attitude that people bring. What are you looking for in people to join Bluewhale Foundation?
But I think always the matter is whether we can share the same value. So some people, maybe for some people, they think that like making money is like a lot more important, right? But in this kind of like, I wanted to work with people who can drive themselves. It's because of their own mission. And I somehow wanted to, continue to develop the company missions, can embrace more people. But in this mission can be expanded with other people's missions. So, basically I told them, hey, you know what, like there's one thing in my mind. There has been one thing in my mind that was, what should be the right format of the society and how people can do what they love. And they can also make money based on their passion. That is my part. And can you guys bring your own mission so that we can connect?
So you want people with missions.
Yeah.
You're going to ask them in the job interview, what is your mission?
Yeah.
If they don't have one, then there's no job fit. That person at your company.
Yeah,
right?
and then if that mission is somehow connected, then perfect.
Yeah, you want people asking the bigger questions as well.
Yeah.
Excellent. Will Lee, everybody, co-founder and CEO of Bluewhale Foundation. Thank you so much for coming in and sharing your story with us today.
Yeah, thank you for the sharing your time, and I pretty much enjoyed the conversation with you. Yeah.
Excellent. Good. And what would be the easiest way for people to reach out to you? What would be the preferred channel?
So basically, like we have huge Telegram group.
Right.
So we have around 65 or around like very close to 70,000 Telegram. So they can find in our community, or if they're interested in our business, who want to join our team, then they can send me an email. So my email address is will@bluewhale.foundation.
Excellent. We'll put all the details in the show notes. It's
Okay.
Will Lee, everybody. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you. Yeah.